of herbal healing. It's where we share the secrets and the ancient secrets of healing yourself with herbs and with food and the power of your mind, and simplifying these things down into everyday practical tools that you can use to heal yourself. So today, what we're talking about is the power of food, the healing power of food, and particularly detoxing food. So I'm going to share a few foods with you that you can use to heal yourself. And this can't be underestimated. The power of food for healing yourself is huge. And also the power of food to make you unwell and to make you sick and send you off to the doctor and maybe the hospital is also huge. So food is massively underestimated by the mainstream health profession, and it's in the traditional world of herbal medicine and healing and naturopathy and that sort of thing. Diet and food is huge. So in other words, it's attributable to probably 30 to 40% of a consultation. And a consultation with a natural practitioner can take anywhere from an hour to 2 hours to 3 hours. So that's how much more time is spent digging into the diet and lifestyle. But what I'm going to share with you today is a really simple method for healing your body, and kind of on the broader sense, across the board, by simply using detoxing food. So let me share an example of a couple of foods. I've got some here that this is a great example. So biscuits or crackers, right? A processed food. And another one here, potato chips, right? So we're all familiar with those kind of foods. So snack foods, convenience foods, and things we often reach for when we're feeling a little bit low in energy. The opposite to that, let me say, first of all, those foods can become toxic over time. And I'm going to share my screen in a minute and we'll go through this a little bit further. But those are processed foods and what I call toxic foods. So even if they claim to be organic or paleo or vegan or any of those things, if a food is processed and refined down and put together in a manufacturing facility, it's still a processed food. And this is something to look out for. And that can still become toxic to your body. And I'll explain why in a minute. But here's a great example of a detox food. Check that out. We've got these huge watermelons coming out in the moment in New Zealand in the summer. And watermelons have a lot of healing properties, but the basic precept here is if you've got a natural, whole, unprocessed food, it's more than likely and probably most definitely going to offer your body some healing effect and some healing power. And that's because the whole unprocessed food there's a couple of things. It's alive, and if it's alive, it's got life force and life energy. And that's been proven to help the body in multiple ways as well. But it's also got organic compounds. And these organic compounds are naturally suited. They kind of like mesh into our body chemistry. And when you process foods, a lot of the compounds become inorganic or denatured. So they don't naturally fit with our body's chemistry. And that's where some of the problem occurs. And some of the other problem occurs with food toxicity, where the products are refined and into a simpler chemical form, where your body hasn't had to go through the process of breaking it down and sort of reorganizing it. And so it shoots straight into the bloodstream like a drug. And that can have drastic toxic effects as well. So what I'm going to do is share my screen and I'll talk you through some of the detox and healing foods that you can use. All right. So I'm going to make a detox diet simplified, the simplified version of a detox diet. And let's go through this a little bit. So first of all, just what we talked about, you are what you eat. So what your body absorbs, what you ingest, what you put into your body, basically becomes your body over time. So the old saying, you are what you eat, is actually dead right. It's true, because what else can you be? You know, your body is manufactured and constructed from the nutrients and the ingredients that you put into it. So you are what you eat. Your physical body is a result. Now, here's a great image of massive pile of junk food. And the reason I show this is because a lot of people underestimate how much they actually have. And so if you're having one chocolate bar or one can of fizzy drink, or one meat pie, for example, you're having over a period of a year, 365 of these. And so if there's 2 or 3 things a day that you're having as a processed food or a snack food or a junk food, add that up over a year, and this is what it looks like. And so this is a great way of understanding how it can damage your body, because these effects are cumulative over time. And so the damaging effect of food, it's a bit like smoking cigarettes or drinking alcohol. You don't get the damaging effects in the first day or the first week or maybe even the first year. It's a cumulative effect over time. So can you imagine this 10 times over 10 years? How much your body has to cope with, and all the additives and the chemicals and the preservatives and the flavorings and the colorings and all the denatured compounds that are in these foods become toxic. And this is largely misunderstood because there's this question mark around, what causes our liver diseases and our cancers and our failing digestive systems and all the problems that we have. The medical establishment, if you like, doesn't seem to have any concept of the possibility even that it's our diet. Doesn't that seem crazy? It does to me, that they haven't really looked into this, but you can find scientific studies and research on it that actually prove it. And you'll find links to this on this page. And so if you want to go to this page later on, have a look at that QR code in the top corner there. That'll take you to the meal planner. And if you want to look at this page, just type it in the little search bar, detox diet, and it'll pop up with this page. And also I'll drop a link in it below the video. There's a little video here that sort of shows what we've just been talking about. So I'll play this for you. So that gives you a great example of what toxic food and toxic diet can do to your body and some of those symptoms that you might get if you've been using those foods long term. So now let's look at the detox foods, what we've been wanting to see, which is the foods that can heal your body and heal your body rapidly. So here's just a great sort of snapshot, an overview, if you like. But you can see that they're mostly plant-based and they're unprocessed foods. And this is coming more and more into our awareness as time goes on. So I'll just go through the different categories of these foods and just give you a little snapshot into each. So here we've got an example of juices. So juices are obviously the liquid portion of the food. And this is a great way to concentrate the nutrients into a liquid form so that you can get a large dose. So, there's a lot of benefits to having things like celery juice or grape juice, apple juice, carrot juice, and all of these things, instead of just having plain water. So a great way to enhance your diet with healing compounds is to get juice from these things and put it through a juicer. But the next category is something that I actually prefer to do, which is smoothies. And so this means instead of just drinking the liquid, you eat the whole food. And by doing this, you're retaining the fiber component. And by retaining the fiber component in the food, you're also giving yourself prebiotics, you're balancing your blood sugar more, you're bulking your stool. In other words, making yourself feel fuller. which means you're not so hungry during the day, and it stabilizes your energy levels right through the day. And people often find when they do a smoothie in the mornings, for example, that not hungry even for lunch. And it's quite amazing how much nutrients you can pack into a smoothie. And so there's been a big trend on having smoothies over the last decade or so, and that's one of the reasons why. But another thing to add to this is if you went organic and you used organic produce, you can get the antioxidant components, which are very, very healing for your body, up to 10 times more. So that's something worth thinking about if you're doing smoothies regularly, is either grow some leafy greens is a great way to start, or get organic and make your smoothies that way. And then we've got fruit salads. So fruits are hugely underestimated and often thought of as high in sugar. But personally, this is not a problem because the sugars you get in fruits are associated with a whole range of surrounding nutrients, and the nutritional content is not pure sugar. So you also get the fiber in the fruits, which helps to pull the blood sugar down and stabilize it. So, I wouldn't worry about the sugar content in fruit at all. In fact, you can go on a fruit diet alone for 2 weeks and do a great detox by having a lot of fruits. I did one when I first started looking into detoxing back in the 1990s, and I just got a bag of oranges, so a big 20-kilo bag of oranges, and I decided I would experiment and try fasting on those oranges and nothing else. And I can tell you that that was more than just a detox and a cleanse. I had a spiritual experience with that. And I think that's why fasting has also become very popular, because we know about fasting and prayer, fasting for religious purposes, purifying ourselves, on multiple levels. But it's very, very easy to do with fruit. So if you wanted to do a fruit fast, I highly recommend it. It's a fantastic way to detox and heal yourself on multiple levels. So you can combine different fruits, and you can try the singular fruit approach, which is really interesting. So here's another category of detox and healing foods, and this is salads. So again, broad spectrum of whole, plant-based and fresh. So this means raw. So a lot of raw food can give you this huge enlightening experience, and not just spark up your body chemistry with enzymes, similar to the fruit, by the way, high in enzymes, which can speed up your whole body chemistry. And we become deficient in enzymes over time. So we only really get them from raw food and fruit and vegetables, slightly more in fruit, actually. So things like pineapple and papaya, massive enzyme potential. And that can speed up your digestion, your whole metabolism and body chemistry. And they say, according to the textbooks, millions of times. So it can speed up certain chemical pathways in your body by millions of times. Can you imagine that? So that's why these raw foods are so important when you're detoxing and healing your body. So I highly recommend it. And if you're doing salads like this, it's really good to include some fat. So avocado is a really good way to do that. And that's one of my favorites, is just like a Mediterranean salad, with cucumber, tomatoes, capsicum, avocado in there. And that's a really good detox food. So it's good to have your smoothie in the mornings, your salad in the middle of the day, or you can have your salad for dinner. And then we've got another category here, steamed or stir-fried. So obviously, again, you get all those fresh vegetables, you chop them up. And if you look at our meal planner, which is, again, that QR code there, if you look at our meal planner, we'll give you 14 days worth of these recipes. So the smoothies, the salads, the stir-fries. And with the stir-fries, it's really good to use a bit of curry. You can use a tomato base sauce or puree as the base and spice it up a bit. That's why we've got quite a few chilies there. And most of our recipes are high in chili, so don't be afraid of the spices. Then we've got soups. So, and as you can probably imagine, all of the vegetables that we've shown you already, and you can make soups. The only thing we avoid during a detox program is things like split peas, barley, grains and legumes and pulses in the soups, because they can be a bit heavy and a bit bloating and a bit hard to digest. So make it out of your soft vegetables and make those a bit spicy too. It's a good idea. And then you've got all these other snacks. So the things I like to do during the day is your guacamole, your homemade guacamole dip, or salsa, and use your carrot sticks or celery sticks. And in the evenings or late afternoons, if you're hungry, you can snack on some dried fruit. So some prunes or dates or raisins, figs, that kind of thing is really good. And you can also have some pickles. So you're allowed to have olives or gherkins during your detox. But these foods, particularly the pickles and the more bitter and the more sour things, stimulate your digestive organs, so your liver, and help your pancreas, and help your secretions of the enzymes and digestive acids and all that sort of thing, which is really, really helpful. So that gives you a bit of snapshot into a detox diet. I hope that's been helpful, and feel free to download the planner, and you'll find on the planner that you can link on each recipe, and it'll take you to a video. It'll give you the full method on how to do each. Awesome. I'll just play a little outro, and I look forward to seeing you next time on Secrets of Herbal Healing. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.